As you know, I was in pretty early, 2013. I wrote the first ever macroeconomic strategy paper valuing Bitcoin back then too, and bought it at $200. And I put a decent sized position in. I'm like, this is the best risk reward I've ever seen in my life. I said, I think fair value is $1 million, and let's say Raoul's a total idiot by 90%, so therefore fair value is 100 grand. At $200, best risk reward I've ever seen in my entire career, so I bought it. Fucking genius. Raoul, you're a god. We're going to have that halo. Amazing. I rode it up. I had a long-term time horizon, 5 to 10 years. I rode it up. It went up, it went up 5x to 1,000. I was like, I really am a god. You know, look at me. I'm just the best investor in the world. Then it falls 85%. I'm like, oh, well, remember the long-term picture. And that's not flipping around from being a trade to being long-term. It was long-term when I defined it and long-term as it is now. So it comes all the way back down. I kind of get a bit bored, 2014. Then 2015, it starts basing and going up again. 2016, it's going up a lot. 2017 explodes. We get the forking wars, all sorts of complications. I'd already gone through, you know, seeing bloody everything from Mt. Gox to Bitfinex to all sorts of stuff. So I'd gone through the wars, now the forking wars, the ICO boom, all sorts of shit going on. I'm like, I don't know, I don't understand this. I'm going to take profits, 10x. And that was stupid because I actually traded against what I set the trade up to be, which was a long-term trade. Anyway, I've made 10x. Great. It went up another 10x after that. And I remember writing on Twitter, I got so much hate for selling out. And I'm like, listen, I don't mind if it goes up another 10x. I've made a lot of money in the trade. Everybody hated me. Then it collapsed. Then it collapsed down 85%, down the backside again. You know, the monetary tightening going into 2018, much like 2022, a terrible year for assets. Everything goes down. And then eventually, Bitcoin bases in November, December at the bottom of the liquidity cycle when the Fed stop easing and it starts clawing higher. I'm not looking at it. Dan Tapiero taps me on the shoulder in 2019, so you've got to focus on this. And I start to refocus, and I'm watching the chart pattern and eventually pull the trigger in March, April, May, June 2020 at great levels, and off we went to the races. So I traded brilliantly. I bought it at 200. I sold it at 2,000 or 2,500, whatever it was. I bought it back at the end of a bear market, but I bought it back averaging about, I don't know, 7,500, 8,000. I started at about 6,000, and then I rode it all the way back up and all the way down here.